everyone, welcome to season 5 of Moments That Define Us podcast. I am your host, Iryna Barnett. Hi everyone, I'm so excited to be back. This is the first episode of season 5. I've missed this, but I had such a nice break, so I'm excited to get to season 5. Today, I want to talk about what it means to me to be an immigrant. And the reason I want to talk about that, because obviously there is a chaos happening in this country with massive deportation, with just inhumane treatment of people that all they're trying to do is make a living, support their family, just like everyone else. But I don't want to talk today about this administration because they already get enough coverage of just how awful they are. Today, I thought I'd talk about what it means to be an immigrant. For those who just tuning in, my name is Iryna Barnett. I am originally from Ukraine, so I am an immigrant. I came to the United States when I was just 19 years old. It was my first time being on the airplane. I packed my bag and I came to the United States to be an au pair, which is a fancy word for nanny. Coming to America, which by the way, is one of my absolute favorite movies, with Eddie Murphy. Love it, watch it the most. But I had this expectation of America where it's the richest country in the world. All the dreams are possible. There is no poverty. There is no homelessness. Everything in that country is perfect. Because another one of my favorite movies that we watched every year during Christmas time was Home Alone, the original Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin. And I loved New York. And in my head when I was a kid, that was every city in America. Big skyscrapers, lights, big houses. In my mind, by the way, everybody lived in the house that they lived. Do you know that ginormous house? Yeah, so I thought everybody lived there. Now I know that people don't. But now that it's been almost 22 years, I have different perspective of this country. And being an immigrant myself, I got to know so many people who also are immigrants. And the interesting thing about being an immigrant, we all have different reason for leaving our home country and coming to another country, specifically to United States. For me, there was no danger, right, to leave my country. Everything was good. My parents lived there, my brother lived there, all my cousins. Didn't know anybody here. So for me, I just wanted to come and live for a year here and then go back home, get married, have kids, and I don't know, just start my life. But universe had a different plan for me. But there are people that come here to look for safety, to look for peace, to get away from danger, from war. Some people come here on an airplane. Some people come here on a bus. Some people walk here. Some people cross the rivers here. And believe me when I tell you, nobody chooses to leave their home country and their home and what's comfortable unless it's dangerous, unless they have to save themselves, their kids, their family. We often hear the word empathy, and we say this word a lot. We throw it around. I don't think we practice it enough. I think it's important for us if we say that I have empathy, I'm empathetic, to really try to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, in somebody else's situation. And what would you do to take your family, to save them out of a dangerous situation, out of a war zone? What would it take for you? What would it take for all of us? As I was preparing for this episode, I remember the time when I got my citizenship. And often we hear the diversity in America. And yes, there is people from all over the world, different culture. You can find here basically anything you want. You want specific food from a specific country, there is community from that country. But I remember getting my citizenship, and it made me emotional because I got my citizenship in, what was that, 5, 6, 7 years ago? It's been a while. I was pregnant with my son, and I remember going to the ceremony. I got it here in Denver. I remember I was getting so emotional because you walk in and on the walls, you see pictures of all kind of different people, but not just pictures on the wall. You see people from all different backgrounds, from all different countries, so excited that they get to be American citizen. And I remember just thinking, this is the representation of America. All different people from all different backgrounds together, looking at each other, smiling, talking, sharing. Oh, when did you come here? Tell me your story. And I remember at that time, I felt so proud to become an American citizen. My husband was there with me, my daughter. I was pregnant with my son. My mom was able to be there. It was such a proud moment. And I remember there were these ladies who said, come register to vote. And everybody went there and registered because we wanted to exercise our right as an American citizen. I often think about that moment because, again, it was a very, very proud moment for me. Oftentimes, people ask me, where are you from? For the longest time, I didn't have a problem with that, especially when I came here. I'm from Ukraine. But now that I've lived here for so long, I often, when I hear this question, where are you from? It right away makes me feel like I don't belong here. And I think you can only understand this if you weren't born here, if you're an immigrant, if you're a refugee. I've lived here now for almost 22 years, but I don't think I can claim that I'm an American, even though I have American citizenship. But I also don't feel like I fully belong to Ukraine anymore. And I struggled with this for a while as an immigrant. When you leave your country, for some people, maybe they know, okay, I'm just going for a year, for 6 months, for whatever, for 2 years, and then I'm coming back, and they do come back. But for other people, it's different. Like I mentioned before, I came here for a year thinking I would go back. Then I decided to stay for another 6 months, and then I went back home. And, so for me, it was very different. I think I was trying to find my place, the place where I belong. And so this question, because it's such a deep and loaded question. So oftentimes I think, because again, when somebody asks you, where are you from? Where was I born? Where have I lived the longest? I don't know. So sometimes I get annoyed with this question. I'm from Colorado. I've lived here for 20 some years, but I was born in Ukraine. And of course, my accent gives it away. You know what's funny about languages, and not languages, but accents? I remember when I came here, I was very delusional and I didn't think I had an accent. I was like, well, speak English. And I so badly wanted to speak just like an American. But now that I'm older, this is part of what makes me unique. That even though in US for most of the time we all speak the same language, what I mean is the main language is English, but there's so many different beautiful accents that makes us unique. So now I love my accent. So when I start speaking, it gives it away that I'm not from here, that I wasn't born here. And also quite often I think about languages. Sometimes I hear, and I'm sorry, but it's just stupid people saying, you learn English. What are you doing here with your language? But do you understand that people who speak more than one language can not only speak into languages, can think into languages, can dream into languages, and are so smart because you can do things in more than one language. And another thing I wanted to say about, the question, where are you from? And not belonging, and how often I felt like I don't belong. Or I was just searching, where do I belong? But now I know I belong where I am, where my family is, where my home is, and what makes me who I am today is that I was born in Ukraine. I chose to come to the United States. I have an accent. I speak different languages. I have friends. Most of my friends are also immigrants that have different stories of what makes them who they are, that have stories of why they chose to come here. So I think I finally found peace with that question of belonging. I belong where I am and where my family is, and that's my favorite place to be. It's really heartbreaking to see what's happening in the country right now, and it's scary because people wake up, go to work, say bye to their kids, and they don't know if they will come back, and the kids don't know if they're gonna see their parents. Just think about this. We are all here for a very short time. Don't you want to spend this time being good, love each other, or do you want to spend this time hating and being evil? Remember, immigrant or not immigrant, we're all trying to live and survive and love and provide for our family and give our kids a good education and raise them well. Let's all try to be good to every person, because again, we never know what somebody had to go through to come here. So be kind, because I often think, my goodness, the world would be so much better if we love each other, if we were kind, if we treated each other well. And so I'm saying all of this to say that it's easy to lose hope, because every day we see these atrocities that are happening in our country and other countries, and it's easy to lose hope. But I heard this phrase recently: if we lose hope, we become doomed. Even in the hardest times, we still have to have hope. We have to keep fighting for everybody, not just for ourselves, but for everybody. Speak up for what is right. Stand up for what is right, because it's important. Put yourself in a situation of somebody who was taken away from their family. Put yourself in the situation if you had to watch your family being blown up, if you had to watch your kid being taken away from you. What would you do? So let's speak up for what is right, and let's have hope, because hope is important. Hope helps us move forward. Hope helps us fight. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'm excited to share with you what is in store for season 5. So tune in every other Tuesday, and remember, be kind and don't lose hope. Thank you all. I'll see you next time.